David.
And I'm Olivia.
And we are David and Olivia Explain Everything. So today we're making pumpkin pierogies, which are technically dumplings stuffed with
Mashed potatoes.
Today we're making pasta dough for our first part. We have flour, eggs,
flour, salt,
garlic powder,
smoked paprika, and
pepper.
And
it will all go in our dough maker.
And then we're gonna mix it.
So the first thing we're gonna do is we need 2 cups of flour and 2 eggs. So Olivia, can you put 2 cups of flour and dump it in there?
Okay, we got the cup of flour.
So the trick is to actually grab any knife from your drawer and you just level it by cutting it. And then we're gonna use leftover flour in the bowl for later. So Olivia, can you please pour that in the bowl?
Where's the bowl?
Okay, so you
Pour it.
You just need to pour it in the food processor. And Olivia, can you give us another cup of flour? Because we need 2 cups of flour. So we got the cup of flour, and now what we need to do is just level it out.
Hoping it's enough.
So now we just make sure that we have enough. And Olivia, can you please dump it into the food processor? So now we need 2 eggs.
Okay, now I'm going to do my egg. David's going to do his egg.
So then we need 2 eggs if you want to make a lot of pierogies.
Okay.
So we actually need to add spices to make it even better. So I'm going to add the pepper and smoked paprika, and you're going to add the salt and the garlic powder. So start by adding the salt. Don't pour it in. You actually just need to get a few pinches full, and that's good. So then you pour in the garlic powder. So then I'm going to do the pepper and the smoked paprika. For those of you who haven't heard of it, it's like a special spice that some people use for like special foods.
Now,
we all blend it up in the food process. So we're going to be dumping flour on the table so it doesn't stick to your hand or the counter. So let's do it, Olivia.
all of it.
And then we ask them to spread it around with our hands.
So we can just like spread it so that it can go a little bit everywhere. Okay, so now we're gonna grab the dough out of the processor.
Fit herself underneath.
Oh. So now we're gonna flatten it.
We're gonna keep pushing it down and folding it over every single time we put it down.
So now we're gonna push down.
So we actually need to wrap up the dough because we're done kneading it and let it sit in our fridge for about an hour. So we actually have our dough resting right now. So we actually cut up our ingredients. So the ingredients that we cut up are, we didn't cut up mashed potatoes, but we had to show you. So we have mashed potatoes,
Bacon,
onions,
garlic,
and cheese. So right now we're actually going to go over to our stove. We're going to cook the bacon on our skillet. So we're not cooking with grease. It's not supposed to pop very much. So we're supposed to try to keep it.
Now we're going to add the onions.
When you're cooking, you should never try to cook by yourself. You should always have an adult with you whenever you're cooking to make sure you don't get burned or anything. All right. So we just finished up cooking down our bacon and onions. So now while we let that settle for a few minutes, we're gonna make the rest of the filling. So right now we're gonna add some cream to the mashed potatoes to loosen them up a little. So we don't really add that much, or else we make it too loose. That's enough. So now what we need to do is we need to actually pour it into our big bowl with the garlic and cheese. So we're gonna actually ask for an adult to help us to pour the bacon and the onions in. So all we need to do now, we just need to mix it up. So we just finished up making our filling.
And this is what it looks like. Delicious.
So we just finished doing out one of our dough because we had to roll it out so we could show you what it looks like when it's finally rolled. So that's what it looks like when it's finally rolled.
So now that we finished flattening out the dough, we're gonna do biscuit cutters to cut out the little circles.
So
Now we cut out all the perogies and we are all in circles.
So now we're at the stage where we scoop it up and we put it on it. So we need to put a little bit on each pierogi, and what we need to do is we need to have we need to have scoops on that row and that row. Cause that row and that row are gonna be the tops of the pierogies.
Little scoops by scoop. I'm doing this right, even.
So now we just need to get teeny tiny scoops on our pierogies. So we're gonna just keep scooping for like about a minute or something.
So right now we are putting water around the edges, not on the pierogi filling, on around the edges. Just take your finger.
So that way they stick better when you put the tops on.
Yeah, and it's gonna end up looking like this one.
That is gonna be our finished pierogi. You do is you actually just grab one of the other pierogi circles and you put it on top.
Over. And then you get a fork.
No, and then what you do is you actually push it on the bottom so that way it connects to the bottom.
Like this.
Like so.
And now you gotta get a fork.
And then you actually can grab a fork so you can push it down to make sure nothing. So that way it's airtight.
We're back. And we are going to fry some pierogies, put sausage in the pan, and then we're gonna eat the dinner. Oh, good sausage. This is the sausage.
We didn't tell you yet because we wanted it to be surprised. Same thing with the delicious we told you about. We will be telling you about later.
Pierogies are sweet. We are all done with the sausages, and then we're gonna scoop them on into the bowl now, right? And the sausage down there. That's okay, right? The sausage. That is raw.
Hot stuff coming through.
Don't see that we're filming.
I know. So now we're gonna put the pierogies in the pan, and also instead of butter, because we ran out of butter, we had to use bacon grease. It is something we actually save from all our bacon that we eat, and we put it inside instead of butter. It's a better use for it, and it actually makes it, and it's actually a lot more efficient use. So now we're gonna put the pierogies in the pan.
Pierogi down there. Thanks for watching.
And also,
the secret
ingredients
was butter. And comment down below.
Tell us your favorite meal, and we will cook it in your honor. And tell the fans your name and your meal.
Comment down below because we want to know what the question of the day is. What is your favorite meal to cook? Thanks for watching.
David and Olivia explain it all.